Hello and welcome to Market View. My name is Lungelele Makakula. Our first focus today on the program will be the National Marketing and Agricultural Board, NAMBOARD, expanding on its programs and financing solutions in place to help small and medium enterprises. Government's vision of the SMME unit is to be a vibrant player in the economic development of Eswatini through an enabling environment that encourages activities of SMMEs and the creation of productive rural families and other communities by creating jobs at home and competitiveness in the international markets. We will develop that conversation with our in-house journalist Nelsiwe Nhlangamandla later on the program. On our second story, the Registrar of Companies Msebe Malinga provides steps to follow when deregistering a company. We will have him explain on how this is done. And on our third and last story, we will have the External Trade and Promotion Manager at AIPA detailing how Eswatini has performed in the Asian markets over the years. And later on, our final segment, we will connect with Sanile Spia, who will provide us with the latest stock market. For now, let's go straight to business news. Welcome back. This is the news. The Registrar of Companies, Msebe Malinga, has provided steps to follow when deregistering a company. The Registrar provided these details after the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade received numerous questions on social media on how this should be done.
The company first has to prepare a resolution for liquidation and then make an application to court. Whereby the court will grant that liquidation order, and then it goes through the office of the Registrar of Companies, and the Registrar of Companies will prepare a note to the office of the Master of the High Court, and the Master of the High Court, of course, will then appoint a liquidator for that company, and the liquidator, of course, has to prepare reports and do the whole process of liquidation. And the process, reverses again from the Office of the Master back to the Registrar of Companies, and where liquidation certificates are issued, and those companies are then liquidated and struck off the registers. And it is quite a costly process. But what we're introducing in the bill is that we then simplify the process for liquidation, whereby the company will simply prepare a resolution, and then we'll proceed to the Master's office. But this time around, the company will actually prefer its own liquidator, and at the cost that they would negotiate to the liquidator. And such process will then be finalized without the whole court processes that we currently are going through with this current Companies Act. We also want to say even that the deregistration process is not only costly to the clients, but to government as well. A company is deregistered if the registrar has reasonable cause to believe that the company is not carrying on business. Now, that's if a company has not submitted its annual reports for a period of more than 2 years, wherein the registrar will first do an internal audit, and will identify those companies, and then will advertise those companies for deregistration, whereby the companies are expected to respond within 2 months, and if they have not then responded, the registrar will deregister and strike off those companies. But then again, the registrar will then have to advertise again and publish those companies that have been deregistered or struck off, and it is such a costly process. But with the current bill, it comes in simplified, whereby if the company is now not carrying on business and without following the liquidation process, now will simply approach the office of the registrar and plead their case that the company is not carrying on business, and as such, the company will be deregistered without any costs.
Minority groups say, what are you doing to help?
Okay. As I had mentioned before, that the ministry continues to simplify processes and procedure by introducing digital solutions and electronic services. And when we introduce these services, we are inclusive of every Eswati and business people, including the minority groups, those that are challenged physically, And as a ministry, we are working with other stakeholders that are responsible and are regulators of such groups, in that as we continue to do this online services and digital solutions, we are of the view and mind that we have other groups that are not cannot access such other services, even though they are digital, like those that cannot read or are blind. We are of the view as a ministry and working with the stakeholders that we need to introduce platforms and services that will also cater for them.
About 100 million malangeni has been exported under the Taiwan Trade Agreement. This is according to the Manager External Trade Promotion, Sibusiso Mnisi, from the Eswatini Investment Promotion Authority. Mnisi said this when detailing how Eswatini has performed in the Asian markets over the years.
We are now trying to say our exporters, they also need to try and export to Asia, and in particular to Taiwan, because Taiwan, that's where we have an economic cooperation agreement which allows us to export our products duty-free. Now that gives us an advantage as a country, because what we're saying is anyone who is based in Taiwan and wants to import, they are likely to import from Eswatini, because they are going to make a meaningful saving, from their importation. So we are happy to say that as part of that initiative to penetrate Taiwan, just last year, the government of Taiwan was able to approve 46 product lines that we can add to our economic cooperation agreement. You will recall that when we signed the agreement, I think in 2018, we had only 153 product lines. So now we are happy to say that we have added 46, and that is giving us about 199. So that's a plus, for our traders, because that means more traders and more products can now be exported to that market. And what one can say is we are hoping that it's going to increase our exports to that region. We have noted and appreciate, the fact that currently we have over 100 million that is being exported, to that market in Taiwan, taking advantage of the economic cooperation agreement. But one is hopeful that we can increase, because when we signed the agreement again, we were talking about less than 5 million in 2018. But the figures now are over in the region of 100 million. The targets that we have, as APA, really is to increase to any number of our exports. But we also acknowledge, that we import about 200 million from Taiwan.
It's 9 minutes after 2. Let's take a break. We shall return with our in-house journalist, Nelsie Wenhlangamandla.
Be sure to catch Business Watch every Wednesday between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., where we feature the latest updates on business news, market trends, and exclusive interviews with industry leaders, as well as insights on emerging small and medium enterprises in the commercial sector. Business Watch, your business leader.
Renewal of TV licenses for 2024 is now open. Here is a quick reminder. A viewer's TV license costs 180 emalangeni per device. Other accessories such as decoders and set-top box cost 50 emalangeni per device. For traders and repairers, TV license costs 300 emalangeni per business area. And now, to pay your TV license, use these following methods. You can use MTN Mobile Money with the number 76222000 or dial *007 *3 *7#, or you can use Eswatini Imali. And And you can pay our TV license at any post office in the country. Another option is you can use any Nedbank branch using our TV license account number 1199004337. Don't forget, when paying for your viewers' TV license, reference with your PIN at all times. And when paying for a retailer TV license, reference with your TIN at all times. For more information, call us on 7802-4543 or 34050163 or 34020879. And you can send us a WhatsApp message on 762222000.
Welcome back. You're still watching Market View this afternoon. I'm joined by our in-house journalist, Nelsiwe Ndlangamandla, to have a discussion on the following story. The National Marketing and Agricultural Board, NAMBOD, says it has programs and financing solutions in place to help small and medium enterprises. The Chief Executive Officer, Begizwe Mazia, says they have made sure that revolving funds have favorable terms for easy access to farmers.
Is already involved in support for SMEs. The first challenge that SMEs face is lack of access to funding. As the National Agriculture and Marketing Board, we have already established 2 financial products to increase access to funding for our farmer SMEs. That includes the Horticulture Revolving Fund, which is housed at Eswatini Bank, which farmers can access to a tune of maximum 10 million emalangeni, as well as the horticulture input subsidy. It is also targeted at smallholder farmers in the horticulture space. By so doing, we wanted to remove the barriers that prevent farmers from initiating their farming activities. We are also aware that government has also established the Agriculture Development Fund, which is still accessible to the SME farmers in particular. To us, that fund, because of its investment or in nature, we see an opportunity for farmers to tap into, especially for infrastructural development that includes protected farming, shade nets and tunnels, and the likes, as well as irrigation infrastructure, so that they then establish those infrastructural developments from that fund and then come to NAMBOD to access the revolving fund and the horticulture subsidy for working capital purposes. Over and above that, because of our mandate as NAMBOD, we also facilitate marketing of the farmer produce. As you know, smallholder farmers who are SMEs in their nature do not have the capacity to transport their produce from farm gate to the market. That includes the refrigerated trucks that are required in adherence to the quality standards that are required by the market. So as NAMBOD, we do provide that a cold chain facility to our farmers and transport their produce from farm gate to our market pack houses, as well as to export markets.
All right, that was NAMBOD CEO Begizwe Mazia elaborating more on funds to help SMEs, particularly in the agriculture industry. I'm joined by our in-house journalist, Nelsiwe Ndlangamandla, to have a discussion on what the CEO said. Nelly, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Let's talk about government's vision for SME. Government says their vision is to have SME be a vibrant player in the economic development of the economy of Eswatini. And are we seeing that? Do SMEs have enough support? What interventions are there from government and as stakeholders to play a role?
Thank you so much, Lulu. I think government has done has played a major role in ensuring good SMEs, they thrive in the country. I'll talk about the SMEs in the agriculture sector. We have seen government introducing a farm input subsidy where government pays 65% of imali lekufanele ukuthi balimi bahambe bayoyibhadala ikakhulukazi kuthenga bomanyolo kuthenga bomakhabeni. I'll make an example nje kule subsidy lena government ubuke ukuthi balima besekele balime umbila balime mabhontshisi balime isokam nasibuka umbila hulumende umlimi ufaka 4,900 government afake 9,100. It means government is really trying to support balimi in this regard. We know ukuthi the geopolitical tensions kubo Russia Ukraine have heightened the plight of balimi lebasolo bakhala ngayo ukuthi maye kudulile lokwekulima. So because of these geopolitical tensions bokhanza ukuthi ama commodities lamaningi awakhona ikhamba kahle. That is why government decided last year ukuthi no angikhulise le mali lena lengisupporta ngayo balimi, especially the small and medium enterprises under the agriculture sector.
Yeah. So I will presume ukuthi lama interventions le input subsidy hulumende usetha balimi labancane ukuthi nabo play a role kule economic development yelizwe leSwatini. Nasikhuluma mhlambe ngitinza abantu ama import nama export, how much are we exporting and how much are we importing, kutshengisa ukuthi vele SMEs have an enabling environment?
We are still exporting a bit more. We are exporting more, but we are still importing more also. Nangbuka nje i-recent economic development report ye Central Bank iyachaza ukuthi 2023 compared to 2022 si exported sine lapha even 36.634 billion emalangeni. Ema imports wona abemancanyana athi 34.644 billion emalangeni. Lokusho ukuthi live liyasebenza ekutameni ukuthi li import more, but there is still room for improvement.
Okay, Nelly, let's take a look at the next clip of the CEO elaborating more on imports and exports.
We do expect to see government taking the lead in investment towards infrastructural development, which the smallholder farmers would ordinarily not have capacity to fund. That includes projects for tunnels and shade nets. Such capital infrastructure requires government support. We also expect government to continue investing into the infrastructural development, which is EWAID is leading, because the more government supports such infrastructural development, it ensures that more and more land have access to irrigation infrastructure. So more farmers will be able to produce and irrigate despite the weather situation, these drought-stricken areas. But with the access to irrigation infrastructure, it will help us as NAMPOD to gain more land into horticulture production and help minimize on imports. The times that we are in now, they are heavily affected by weather-related catastrophes. So, as coupled with the problem of energy supply, the uncertainty that is coming with the end of the agreement with South Africa for electricity supply is a serious threat. So the need for government to start supporting projects on solar energy generation is very necessary, so that some of the farmers who are irrigating using electricity power are not making a substantial profit because of the high pumping cost coming from the electricity cost. So we do now need to start venturing into solar power energy so that it becomes cost effective for the farmer and they become more profitable. So for us from an agricultural perspective, and lastly, government has quite a number of farms that are available and they are lying idle. So as NAMPOD, we would count on government to possibly select a few of the farms, put the necessary infrastructure, that is fencing, irrigation infrastructure, and protected farming, so that whosoever wants to invest into agriculture does not incur the substantial cost of investment, so that it makes it more profitable for the farmers.
Yeah, Nelly, that is the CEO, Bheki Zwamazia. Uthinze indaba ye-weather, ukhuluma ngendaba ye-drought. I think it's an important, topic. Lokuthi nje, how has climate change really affected the agriculture industry lapha eSwatini?
It's a very, very important topic, Lungelele. We have to make sure, I think government has made it clear that we have to build climate resilient solutions. Ngekuthi balimi bakhe ma-tunnels, ngekuthi balimi basale balima kuma-nets nyalo. So nasibuka sisa importa thine umbila, sisa importa iwheat, sisa importa timfo letiningi lo ngacabanga ukuthi la ekhaya eSwatini ngabe sinato. Nasibuka i-company survey report yeminyaka lophelile iyaveta ukuthi itulu line kakhulu ngabo December 2022 lapho khona sabona kulimala umoba, lapho khona sithola khona shukela lo ngiwona si-exporta kakhulu la even kwalimala boma citrus. So these solutions lapho khona vele silwa nabo climate change timcokwa kakhulu. I think the CEO is raising very valid points na hulumende lesekawabukile vele ukuthi kufanele ukuthi asejenda.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much, Nelly, for joining us, Lomhlaimini. Where we come back with our in-house economist, Mr. Sanele Spia.
Ujala masada mahle kunathi lesa.
Sabatandi ukuthi njengalokho sivile sive sikhulumeni.
Residents of Simunye.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. We are now joined via Zoom by our in-house economist, Mr. Sanele Sibia, to give us an overview of the stock markets. Currencies. Very good afternoon, Mr. Sibia. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I think that's not give us an overview of the market. Dollar, euro, dollar. Sibuka ukuthi ngabe namhla le performa kanjani emarket.
Thank you Mtombeni. So uma sibuka i-currency yethu sibuka lilangeni against lama major currencies, silibonile lilangeni ukuthi libe nako kuba a bit weak compared to global currencies, losing a bit of some percentages. Sesibonile let's say libuyele ngetulu kwa 19 emalangeni for dollar lilinye, labuyela ngetulu kwa 20 emalangeni for €1, and sabona ukuthi ne-Japanese yen nalo libe nako kugain strength against lilangeni. So loko siyak attributed to strong economic data coming out of the US, regardless of letinfo lesitibona tendeka emarket yase States, so ihlala resilient. Manasibuka overall in Europe, still there is a bit of resilience, and France nayo uyayibona ukuthi nayo a bit of optimism compared to onke lamanye emave ase Europe. So ngiwangazi ukuthi lelangeni lethu nasilicompare na market letinkulu temhlaba wonke selikhomba ukuthi lona ke linako lokuba weak. Lokho sekubangelwa ngilokuthi lemaveni lasembili economic data yakhona ivela is strong
compared to leyalana ngalana eSouth Africa, even though kunaleti nkinga tabo technical recession nani. So siyabona ukuthi lilangeni lethu loko likuthathe laba nayo inkinga ngoba those are the major trading partners nobuka e-US.
All right. Before we run out of time, Mr. Spear, ngifuna nje sibuke mhlambe the Asian markets. The People's Bank of China announced today ukuthi itawehlisa i-mortgage rate from 4.2% to 3.95%. Ingabe lokho mhlambe kutawa affecta kanjani ema markets ase-Asia?
Thank you. Lokunye lesikubonile ukuthi na ubuka imarket cishe tonke na uhamba uya e-Europe uya e-America uya khona e-Asia nasicala e-America siyadibona tonke imarket takhona ukuthi tivale tiphansi nakhona e-Europe imarket takhona tivale tiphansi kube khona nje iFrance kuphela lengathi ivale isetudlwana nakhona lokho singaka-attributor to the ongoing affair eSingapore lengiyona itshengisile ukuthi iBoeing in as much as inetinkinga kulamalanga iyathembisa ukuthi itawuba nako kwenyuka and lokho kubangelwa nangakuthi ke uma ubuka ukuthi umhlaba wonke usazama ku-catch up after i-COVID so bantu basatidzinga indiza letiningi so that sekwenyuke kakhulu le ndlela abantu abafuna kuhamba ngayo so tinkampani lenjengabo Boeing into nathembisa kulamalanga ukuthi tawukhona kuhamba kahle nasiya eChina khona siyabona ukuthi imarket takhona tivale tisetulu tonke lokho nakhona sikubangelwa ukuthi ama-Chinese siwabonile ukuthi nawo ada nendiza lethembisako ukuthi itawu-rivala i-world market so nako konke lokho market tithathe tajabula phindze sibuke-ke nokuthi-ke kube nekukhathwa kwale interest rate yetimama yema-mortgages ekhona eChina so lokho kungona kutshengisa ukuthi i-government yase-China ne-central bank yakhona titimisele ngeku-reina in the problems that are within the mortgage sector in China so ngiko ngasithi imarket takhona setiyajabula ngoba sekukhona leli sikubonako lokhu physical lokwendekako laphana lokhu kutshengisa ukuthi umnotho wakhona ungahle undlondlobale.
All right, before mhlambe we let you go, Gumbe nosingetha nje of an overview of the Eswatini Stock Exchange, CBC sibuka ne-Johannesburg Stock Exchange.
Uma sibuketa ke la sibuya ekhathi kubo South Africa senyukela nakhona lapha ekhaya eSwatini siyabona nakhona ukuthi imarket takhona eSouth Africa solo tetfukile tetfuswa ngileti nombolo letiphuma komhlaba wonke tisisengabe ngileti buyela kahle siyathemba kodwa ukuthi emva kwawo ama budgets la tawuphuma kuleli viki nakulala taku la ekhaya imarket titawuba nako lokutshengisa ukujabula lokuncane so lokho siyakubona ukuthi imarket azitho letlahlambile ngekuthi na ubuka ligolide lende kwenyuka kancane namuhla lenyukile solo lingetulu kwa-2000 nasibuka na oil wethu solo ungetulu kwa-80,000 solo kusho ukuthi vele solo siyachubeka nokuthi imarket setethukile la South Africa ukuthi uma uchubeka uyalembili vele lentengo ya oil ngahle yenyuke kanti vele ema-producer inputs vele asetulu kulamalanga so ngiko lokungasithi imarket lethu netala ekhaya tinako lokwehla kodwa letala ekhaya ngoba tinako lokuba insulated kancane tisisengawutshengisa umehluko longako ukuthi kungabe tona tisititfuke kanganani kulesimo lesibhekene naso emhlabeni wonke.
All right, thanks so much Ismakhulu, Mr. Spear, kusiniketa leyo analysis. Mbukela sibahla emakethe. When we come back, we wrap up the show.
Ujala masada mahle kunathi lesa.
Sabatandi ukuthi njengalokhu sivile sive sitikhulume.
All right, we've come to the end of our show. Thank you for staying with us. Sanibona kusasa when we come back at 2 p.m. for Business Watch. Have a lovely day. Nsalekahle.